I didn't go to school to be an actor. And I
Mm-hmm.
learned that in the booth hard, like the first year and a half, maybe longer, because
Yeah.
I would get notes from voice directors that I'm working with today, that I worked with last week. But in
Yeah.
my first year, I would get a note from my agent, and they're like, so the director called, and you're still on the project. They didn't fire you, but this is a note. This is a real note that I got. It was like, he's a
Yeah.
real nice guy, and he can do voices real fun, but he's just a bad actor. He's just not good at acting. And that was a real note. And again, I worked with
Mm.
that director last week on a very big video game,
Wow.
and it's
Yeah.
just something that I just had to, I took
Learn.
like an acting class. I audited this acting class one, and it was literally for just the duration of the time that I paid, several weeks. And it was very interesting and very eye-opening to the fact that it was, we're called voice actors, but actor should come first. Actor of voices,
Yes.
because
Yes.
that's what it
Yes.
is. Even if you're playing a cartoon rabbit, and
Mm-hmm.
even if the cartoon's only 7 minutes, there has to be some kind of grounding in reality that makes the audience want to believe that you're watching this character that's
Yes.
actually going through this stuff. And even if it's Bugs Bunny, that's like he's faking it most of the time to fool Elmer Fudd or to fool Yosemite
Mm-hmm.
Sam.
Oh, there has to be some kind of, you have to be convinced that this rabbit is real.
So, and that Elmer wants to blow his brains out. Well, not anymore. We
Yeah.
removed the guns. Sorry, guys. I have a 4-year-old, and I believe you don't need to have a gun. Elmer doesn't need a gun to be Elmer.
Yeah.
He's an idiot without the gun.
You touched on a few things that we always talk about, which is that it's less about the voice. The voice is obviously very important, but it's more about the acting. And obviously, like you said, the improv, the comedy that you bring to it. But I love that you said you have to make it believable and you have to ground it. And that was actually one of my questions. How do you take these iconic voices, and even the ones that you're the original voice to, and really ground it in reality, in the reality of the show?
Well, it's just the scope, a scope of everything. There's information, puzzle pieces that all come together, and a lot of it is the input of the writers. The voice directors are there to help facilitate the writer's notes and the director's notes, and there's the entire story. There's the script. It's the characters, the situations that they're in, the proximity, and the stakes. But when it comes to the performance, you pick and choose like moments from your own life and just real feelings. It's very interesting to try to like funnel it in without just doing it, because that's kind of how I learned, was just doing it. Like I would be going into sessions with people who have been in this industry for decades and decades, people that I grew up watching, and I never thought I would be in the booth with in a scene, let alone become friends with these folks. You can learn so much stuff by just working and practicing, and that's the other thing. It's like reading aloud. It's not just being able to say,
What's up, Doc?
it's like I don't know. Here, this is pretty funny. This is
Talk about reading aloud all the time. Yeah.
I was redoing my driveway, so this is just random concrete colors. So
Colors for concrete. Davis colors mix into any concrete, transforming it into a new design feature for building and paving projects. Well, lucky for me, I don't have a driveway because I live in a hole.
So it's just stuff like that where you could pick up anything and just jump into this character. Because, you could get through the door by saying the catchphrases, but here's a brand new script that Mel Blanc has never read. And it's like, how do you take that copy and that material and deliver it to people that know these characters better than I do? Like the fans, if you go to like any Comic-Con, you make a mistake and they're like,
wrong. That's actually episode 5. And
and you're just like, oh my God, he's right, or she's right, like so embarrassing. It is just, I don't know, other than like just practicing, guys, and really like reading it aloud and recording yourself And you know what else I did earlier on too was make myself available to a lot of third-year graduating animation students. You know, I would often be at USC
Yeah.
meeting like people like Alex Hirsch who were still in school, and I
Yeah.
mean, this guy created Gravity Falls,
Creator of Gravity Falls. Yeah.
and like we're just you know, doing voices for free for these animation students, and that's great
Yeah.
practice because
I
then you
love that.
actually get to see your work and possibly
Yes.
meet a future boss.